Can we talk about distractions for a minute? Okay, so y'all probably know I just came from the gym because that's where I usually come from when I get my downloads. But anyway, so I'm in there and I was on this specific machine and I'm in the zone, y'all. But I'm always alert of my surroundings because listen, I grew up in the hood, and as a woman and all the things, that's what we all should do, be alert, right? And I see a guy that I know, and I see him start to wave, but I got my hands on this machine and I'm in the middle of doing, like, whatever the maneuver is, right? And so I don't stop, but I smile, hi, right? And what I received from that, just that quick moment, is that it's so easy to become distracted from our goals and the things that, what I hear is like our path and our purpose, right? Now, we might look at that situation and think, oh, well, I mean, what's the big deal? Just stop and wave and all the things. But sometimes, not every time, God has a deeper meaning behind the most simplistic moments in our lives, just to see if we're going to pay attention or if we're just going to explain it away like the world teaches us to do and deny our divinity, right? But that's a whole different conversation. Now, in this moment, what I received to share is we have to stay focused. There's so many distractions in this world. I mean, so many. You're on one right now. Social media, someone popping up. And that's also what I want to talk about, because I've been having all these visions. You may or may not know I have visions every single day. Sometimes I share them, sometimes I don't. But I've been having recurring visions of the past coming back up to haunt. And boy, has it. And what I received behind that is when you're on the path of ascension, right? As a plane passes, hello. Confirmation, as you're on the path to ascension and focusing in on your goals and being just like really laser focused and intentional, I want to say, right? Then a lot of people will start to sense that, and then they will start popping up like the Great Gazoo or like whack-a-mole. And just like in whack-a-mole, sometimes you got to slap that back down. Not literally speaking, because we cause no harm to ourselves or each other, right? But outside of that, we have to build boundaries, not even with other people necessarily, but within ourselves. Because when you're like a yes person, what I receive, a people pleaser, however else we want to say the same things, then it's easy for you to get distracted just based off of the past popping back up, because you're like, oh yeah, I remember, let's go ahead and reminisce. Meanwhile, you got things stacking up in the background, and then you're starting to become overwhelmed and wondering, where is this feeling coming from? Why can't I get anything done? Well, there are warnings, people. When we get into those situations and circumstances, sorry y'all, this might be shaking because my arms are still shaking from I got a good workout. But anyway, speaking of distractions, but anyway, when you are walking that path and purpose, it is so easy to for little things to throw you off track, kind of like that illustration just did, right? However, it is also up to us. I'll speak in I statements. It's up to me as to whether I'm going to feed into those distractions, or what I even hear more so is, am I going to feed the distractions? Because listen, what we feed grows. Look at your kids. In Jesus' name, you're feeding them and they're growing, right? Whatever you feed, whatever you give your attention to is what you are saying you're giving your power and authority to. We can't get mad at other people for becoming distractions and taking away our attention and our time from the responsibilities in our lives when we're the one who is handing them the keys to our kingdom. So all of that to say, remember to stay focused. Be able to, the more you identify the distractions in your life, the easier and quicker you're going to be able to identify the distractions in your life, right? And not to say that sometimes you don't need a reprieve, sometimes you don't need that moment to scroll, or sometimes you don't need that moment to just kind of tune out and just, I don't know, vibe, however you want to phrase it. But you know the difference. Use your discernment when you're just creating distractions in order to get away from your responsibilities, or what I hear is even your opportunities, because maybe, just maybe, now we're going to go a little bit deeper here. Maybe you feel unworthy of those opportunities. Maybe you feel unworthy of the, what I hear is the praise that could potentially come from walking your path and purpose. So you allow those distractions to come in just so you can have a scapegoat to say, well, it's not my fault, it's these distractions. Is it really the distraction's fault? No, I don't think so. It's yours. It's mine. But that's okay, though. We're going to figure it out. We're walking this path together, and we're not going to allow the what? Distractions. How many more times can I say it? If this were a drinking game, y'all be drunk. But we don't drink. Well, at least I don't. If you do, listen. It's your path. It's your life. Do what you do. But if this was a water drinking game, we'd be super hydrated every time I say distraction, distraction, distraction. So anyway, stay hydrated, my friends. Speaking of distractions, this is so off the charts. But make a plan. Work your plan. Know that you are deserving of the abundance and the ascension and everything that comes along with it. If you know people are popping up, use your discernment to figure out and discern their intentions. Would they have reached out to you had you not had a moment of success? Would they have reached out to you in any other circumstances other than something that they might be able to earn an opportunity in? That just came out of nowhere. But you know what I say? These are my moments. It's your life. You're strong. You're powerful. You get to decide. And that's it. Bye.